Back in December, I decided I wanted to get a clearer picture of my health. I did the Mark Hyman's blood test, and it completely is changing my life, and I'm going to tell you all about it. I'm taking you behind the scenes, and it's called Function Health. They did not pay me, nor did they sponsor me to make this video. I decided to do it on my own. I paid the money, and here I am giving you my review, because if you're looking for something that is completely comprehensive, this one has a lot. So I've looked at a lot of different things. I looked at Inside Tracker. I've looked at, Quest. I've looked at all these different places that you can get your blood drawn, but nothing compared to over 100 biomarkers than Function Health. Now, the first question you may have, what is the cost of Function Health? As of right now, according to this video, it is $499 a year. Now, they market it as $42 a month, but upfront, $499. First of all, if you go to a doctor, all of these biomarkers, they're not going to do unless you have something wrong with you, typically. So that's a challenge, because if you're like, well, I want to be proactive with my health. I want to see something before I start feeling something, and then maybe it's too late. This gives you the ability and the freedom to do it yourself. And that $499 includes a couple things. One, your initial blood draw with the results and an action plan. And then a retest in 6 months with some of the biomarkers, and I'll go over that in just a moment. And that's the entire year. So you get 2 different tests to see how you're improving or not. Then it's up to you if the second year you want to pay another $499, but it's basically $499 a year. And with that, every year you get 2 different blood draws. But there's also some add-on costs. Now the $499, let's go over what that covers. And by the way, that's exactly what I did. I did $499. I did not do any upgrades. But let's talk about what is included. Look at all this. So they split it up by heart, all of this stuff. Now, as we're looking through here, if you see a 2X, they don't test every single 100 plus biomarkers on your second round, your 6-month checkup. They only do certain ones. So anything with a 2X means that is what they do the second round. And then if it says add-on, that's what you could pay extra for. So you have all of these things that are included in the heart. Come on down here, it's gonna test your thyroid. Come on down here, the cancer, but that does show you some things. Autoimmunity, a lot of things here. Immune regulation, a lot of stuff here, and so on and so forth. I want to show you behind the scenes here, so I'm going to kind of scroll down here. You're more than welcome to check this out on your own time, but there's a lot. You also do a urine test as well. So as you can see right now, you're looking behind the scenes. This is my particular account. So I have 95 biomarkers in range and 13 that are out of range. That means they tested over 108 biomarkers on me particularly. My follow-up, my 6-month, that's gonna be, I think in like probably about 3 or 4 more months from now, I'm gonna do that retest and we'll see how things go. So if you want to see what my results look like on the second round, comment down below and I'll be sure to come back with another video and let you know how that experience was. But 95 plus 13, okay, so we have all of these biomarkers, and that is what you get with the particular $499. You also get an action plan. What kind of foods could help improve some of those bad biomarkers? What kind of supplements? And then you also get clinician notes. Now, this takes a little bit of time to come in, but as we go through, I'll kind of explain my entire experience. I want this video to be completely comprehensive for you if you're thinking about getting Function Health. Here are the add-ons. So if you decided to do more than what you see here, here's what you would have to pay. If you want to know your IGF-1, that's an additional $99. If you want to know sexual health panel, that's an additional $49. If you want to see if you have Alzheimer's risk, $129. If you want to see any celiac test, if you want to understand if you're gluten intolerant, that would be an additional $69. If you want to have a Lyme disease test, $49. And heavy metal and mineral test, that's in addition to some of the things that they already do test, for $149. Any food allergy test, I did debate this one, but I ended up not doing it, but this will be $149. Indoor allergy, $169. And the big one, cancer detection test. Get ready, brace yourself. $899. That I just could not, I can't. But I'm so satisfied with what I got for the $499 that, I don't know, maybe someday I'll save up my money for that, but Ooh, that's a lot of money. So let's go through my particular health. Now I'm going to show you the web. There's also a mobile app, and I use them both. So it's whatever works best for you. If you want the computer, great. If you want the mobile app, whatever works best. So we'll start here with the in-range. I just click on that and here's all my in-range. So it'll let you know your biological age. I'm 10 years younger than I'm supposed to be. That's a good thing. Blood, it tells you what your blood type is and your factor. So that's kind of nice to know if you don't already know that. Hemoglobin levels, it lets you know your red blood count, all these different things. Everything is looking good from this perspective. Electrolytes, 6 of 6 biomarkers, all looking good on that perspective. Of course, we're all different people. Yours may look different than mine. I'm just showing you what you can expect if you decide to get Function Health. So environmental toxins look good with lead and mercury, all the heart. This one, especially if you read this book right here, Outlive by Peter Attia. This is a phenomenal, it's thick, but it's a phenomenal book that takes you through all kinds of great stuff. I'll link this down in the description below. If you've not read this, this is awesome. But he really stresses the importance of ApoB. That is a leading indicator of potential heart issues in the future, more so than some of the other traditional tests. And Function Health includes that in the $4.99. So here we are at a 69. So for me, it's a little high, but it is in range. HDL, LDL, all that's looking good. You got some heavy metals, kidney, right? Test your kidney out, your liver. Look at all that. You know, male health. If it's female, you'll be female health, whatever gender you are. Metabolic, nutrients, pancreas, stress and aging, thyroid, urine. Look at all this cool stuff. Now you might be like, well, show me the dirt. Show me your out of range markers. I got you. We'll scroll up here and we're going to hit on the 13. And some of this stuff, you know, if you're a hypochondriac, you're going to freak out. I kind of am sometimes. But here's what's out of range for me. Here's what's out of range for my heart and my metabolic and nutrients. So I got some things to work on. And what's nice is if I click into this, it tells you some details. So what autoimmunity is all about. It goes through all of this. Now this is available, right? Like you can read through all this and really get some great quality data. And then once it's all done, you'll get the clinician notes right here. So this one is specific. Actually, let me go back here. This one right here, this clinician note is tied to autoimmunity. I can read through the notes holistically for my entire blood panel, or I can go into each and every biomarker group and read specific notes from the clinician on what's going on. So in this case, you know, there's some issues, right? They're out of the normal range. It could be immune system attacking me. Kind of scary, but we'll get through it. We'll get through it. So I come back here, we click on the heart, same type of thing. It talks about now the heart. So lets me know what's going on here. And the thing I like the most when it comes down to going back to the main site is the action plan, because it's all great to look at some of this stuff, but how do I fix it? How do I make sure that, like, you know, when I test again, either in 6 months or next year, that I've done the right things to improve upon this? There's a couple ways you can do this outside of Function that I'll get to in a moment, but the foods, it'll let you know, and this is specific to you, so yours is going to look different than mine, but pasture-raised eggs, as if eggs aren't more expensive. Now they want me to get these. This ought to be good. It's probably going to be like $100, but that's what is my top 5. Some things. I had some salmon last night, so I'm diving into that. I don't know about herring. I don't know if I'm going to enjoy that one as much. We'll see. Then it gives you all kinds of other options and opportunities. You can click up here too and see what you need to limit. Now this is probably going to be pretty obvious for everybody, but get rid of the oils, get rid of the alcohol, get rid of that kind of stuff, because that will impact your health. That's pretty obvious. Supplements. Now, this is an interesting world you can dive into, but here are my top 5. Omega-3, berberine, ALA, biotin, and multivitamin. You can also dive into some of these down here if you want to. I just don't want to be over supplemented, I guess. So what I'm doing is I'm focused on what I'm eating. I am starting to take omega-3, berberine, and ALA. The top 3 here I started taking, and oh my gosh, per the title of this video, it is changing my life in such a phenomenal way. And how it's doing that is I started taking berberine. And I didn't realize, I hear it's viral, it's all over TikTok and all that, but I didn't know about it. But because of this, I did, and I decided to get it. And oh my gosh, I am feeling so much better. My energy's up, my sleep is better. And not only that, my heart rate, my resting heart rate has gone down. I feel so much younger than I used to. And now, because I've been taking these supplements and watching what I'm eating, I'm super excited to see what happens in the next 6 months when I go back to test some of these things. Now, if there are any biomarkers, going back to my health here, all biomarkers, if there's anything here that is not tested in my follow-up, so for example, it says retest or out of range. If that's not in the 6-month follow-up, you can buy it. You can add it on. In fact, I have not looked at it yet, so why don't we go ahead and take a look at it together so we can see what we're talking about. So okay, so it's saying retested in 1 month or 3 months. So I'm not gonna be able to see how much this is. So I'll give you my warning, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to show you the app, and then we'll wrap it up. So if you're interested in Function Health and getting off the wait list and getting immediate access, you can use my link in the description below. Yes, I do get a little affiliate commission if you sign up. However, it's totally your call if you want to use that link or not. Sometimes there is a wait list. I don't know. Feel free. If you're enjoying this content, you're enjoying what I'm giving you, and want to support it, link in the description below. But here's my warning. On the first round, okay, so you immediately buy this thing for $400 or whatever it is, right? You do your add-ons if you want. You're going to have to schedule your very first appointment. And it's done at a Quest lab. Now, luckily for me, that's right up the road from where I live. Quest labs are all over the place, so hopefully there's one in a very close distance to where you live. But you're going to schedule that. I found that to be extremely easy. You do it all within the Function app. It also will let you know, hey, here's some things you need to know coming up for your visit. It can text message you updates as you get closer to that visit. I found that entire experience to be extremely smooth, very, very welcoming. And I'm like, okay, I feel at ease. I have not had my blood drawn in years, like probably more than 8 years ago. So I was a little bit scared. I'm like, man, it's been 8 years since I had my blood draw. So you're going to do it on one day, and then within a week after that, you should schedule your second, because you need to go in for 2 times for this first blood draw, because they literally suck all the blood out of you like a vampire. Not really, but kind of. I think I had 12 vials taken on the very first round, and then an additional 12 vials on the second appointment, plus a urine sample. So that's a lot of blood, and here's my warning to you. Don't be dumb like I was. I decided, and this screws up the results, and I think that one thing that said sex binding hormone, whatever it is actually a problem because of what I did. So if I wouldn't have tried to cheat the system, maybe I would have had more biomarkers that look better. Here's the dumb thing I did. I thought, well, it's the holidays, it's December, I have this thing coming up. I should probably fast, because what I should do, and I don't mean fast before the appointment, because you do need to fast overnight before you take the blood draw. I'm talking about extremely change my entire diet profile 3 weeks before I take the blood draw to try to look like I'm healthier than I really am. Really stupid. And here's what happened to me. I decided to do the fasting regimen OMAD, O-M-A-D. Feel free to laugh at me in the comments if you want. I'm laughing with you on this one. So OMAD, 1 meal a day. And then, because of that, I'm obviously not really doing a good job with it. And overall, because I've been fasting, I'm not as 100% if you're going to start sucking blood out of me. So the very first time that I'm sitting down, I'm ready to go. I'm not really nervous. I'm like, rock and roll, let's do this. I'm excited. They start drawing the blood out of me. Once it's done, I'm like, cool, that was it. Great, I feel good. I'm kind of sitting there, and then all of a sudden I'm like, ooh, all of a sudden like the room's getting black. Oh, the next thing I know, I wake up. I completely passed out. And the reason I passed out is because I was fasting like a stupid a-hole for 3 weeks before the blood. Don't do that. Don't make my mistake. Don't radically change what you do to try to cheat the system. Just do your normal thing. If you drink alcohol, just keep up. I mean, not that I'm condoning that, but like, don't radically change to try to cheat the system, because it's probably best for us to know truly what's happening with us without any fake facade over top of that. So because of that, I'm like, okay, I'm no longer going to do 1 meal a day. I'm no longer going to fast. I'm going to go back to my normal eating pattern, because guess what? I have this second appointment coming up, which will be an additional 12 vials plus a urine test. I'm not going to faint this time. So I went back to normal eating. and I ate well, ate clean, everything was fine. And then I went in with a vengeance. I'm like, I am not going to pass out. And I hope it, because if I do pass out on this time, that means it's not fasting. That means I'm passing out for some other reason. Maybe I have a vagus response to this. Thankfully, I can tell you I did not pass out. Everything was fine. I was able to do the second one, same amount of blood, walked out looking like a champ. Now let's talk about what the app looks like. Here we are on the app, and we have a little update coming in, so that's all good and fine. The app's really easy to use. It is a little bit basic, but remember that Function is still in its overall beta mode. So I have 108 biomarkers right here. You can see I'm ready for my follow-up lab in the next couple months. But let's go here and look at all this. So if I view all my biomarkers, it's just like we saw on the computer. There's the 95, there's a 13. If I tap on 13, it'll only bring up my out of range markers. Or if I click on 95, it'll pull up only the things that are in range. Same type of thing. I can go into each one of these things, learn a little bit about them. The clinician notes will pop up. All that stuff is accessible on the app. So if you're on the go, you can do this as you go along. Now, if you look over here on the far right, it says 0 improving. That will change, hopefully, when I go and take my follow-up test. And also next year. So if I decide to keep my membership, which I'm leaning toward a big yes on that, I'm going to pay another $499, and then I can see of these 108 biomarkers, which ones are improving year over year. So that'll be kind of nice to look at. Now, what I found really cool is as soon as you leave the lab, within the next, I would say 48 hours, it took about 2 days, they start loading in your biomarkers as soon as they get them. You're not going to get your clinician notes. That takes forever. That took like a month or so for mine to come in. So you are going to have to be patient. You're not going to want to be patient because you're going to want to know the data right away, but be patient. The cool thing is though, as you get these results back, let's say they come in and they start looking like they're out of range. Like for example, that one I was talking about a little earlier is this one, sex hormone binding globulin or whatever that is. I'm not a doctor, I don't know how to say this stuff. That, right, was because of the stupid fast. And how I know that is this was the very first result I got back and it was out of range. And I'm like, oh, giddy up. I didn't know what else was coming after that. But what I decided to do is plug it into AI. I mean, it's your data. You can use it as you want. I decided to go to ChatGPT and say, help me understand this. And then I explained to it that I was doing OMAD, and then it kind of laughed at me. And it was funny. And it's like, that is why this could potentially be out of range, because fasting does impact this. I think actually it says that in here somewhere. If we go down here, yeah, look at the causes for this. Disordered eating, excessive fasting, and malnutrition can sometimes contribute to elevated SHBG. Well, there's my answer to that. But in any case, this was the first one that came in, plugged it into AI. As they kept coming in, I kept downloading it every time I got 1 or 2 or 3 biomarkers, and I kept saying, hey, tell me more about this. Now, of course, it's AI. Take it for what it is. But it was nice to kind of get that before I got my final report. That's the cool thing about Function. They don't wait. They don't make you wait. I mean, you paid the money. You gave the blood. You're going to be excited to know what's happening. And I love that they keep giving you info as soon as they get it. And then once it's all in, wait about a week, and then the clinician will come in and give you that full write-up. So that's what I love about Function Health. And because I've been following the protocol, eating better, taking the berberine and taking some of these supplements, I honestly am feeling great. And I'm excited to show results, if you guys are interested in them, in my next follow-up appointment, which will probably be sometime around June or July. If you're interested, comment below. And if you've done Function Health and there's something that I missed, or you want to give your own review, comment down below. It's a community. Let's talk about it. Other than that, I hope this video was helpful. If you want to get Function Health, use the link in the description below. Check out this video next, and we'll see you on the next video.